Ayan, magandang araw, Aurolians!
Magandang araw din sa mga nanonood ng live sa Facebook natin today.
And I am your host, Anjadel Ortiz.
At ako naman si Rutiel Mea Pascual. We are your hosts for today.
We are glad to have you all join us for our webinars today entitled Starting Healthcare Business.
We hope that you'll stay with us and help us gather helpful information from this webinar.
Magandang araw, partner!
Magandang araw din, partner, pero wag kang papatalo sa umaga. Mas maganda ka pa doon. Naks! So ano ba yung expect natin, partner?
So, partner, today we will be having our two guests.
Two guests! Wow!
Yes, they will be sharing a talk that will surely aid us, especially the CAHAS department.
Balita ko meron din mga information number na inanda ng CAHAS department. Di ba, partner? Tama ba yun?
Yes, partner. But before that, someone is going to give their opening remarks first. Ladies and gentlemen, the person behind this new normal setup of schooling, who entirely monitored, ensures, and maintains the excellence of education even in distance learning, the Dean of College of Allied Health and Sciences. Let's all welcome Dean Rosenda Jaramillo.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the third virtual mentorship program. In behalf of the PHINMA Araullo University College of Allied Health Sciences, we extend our utmost appreciation to our partner, CAMOX Philippines. CAMOX Philippines made this mentorship program possible. Thank you po, CAMOX. And of course, our gratitude to the PHINMA AU community who is always with us. And special thanks to the College of Allied Health Sciences Student Council, headed by our very own Governor Rutiel Pascual. Let me walk you through the history of nursing and pharma. Do not worry, this will not take long. Kaway-kaway dyan sa mga nursing students natin. Kilala niyo pa ba siya? Now, if you do, please type her name in the comment box. Okay. Yes, you're right. She is Anastasia Hiron Tupas, and she is the first nurse in the Philippines. Sa mga pharmacy students naman natin dyan, okay, kung kilala niyo siya, encode his name in the comment box. Okay, good. Yes, he is Leon Maria Guerrero. Let's have the last picture. Okay, if you know her, please do type her name on the comment box. Okay, good. Sige, check nga natin. Yes, she is Filomena Francisco. Now, why am bringing these people to you? Well, nursing during the olden times and pharmacy started in its basic form. See, nursing started taking care of the sick at home, and pharmacy started by mixing some chemicals and then coming up with medicines. Notably, these two professions made a mark in the healthcare team arena. But both of them went to baptisms of fire. Well, what I would like to communicate to all of you is that do not let who used to be hold you back from who you can become. Gone are the days that nurses and pharmacists are known to be workers only in the hospital or in the community. When I first set foot in my alma mater, I have a plan, and that is to work in a big hospital to take care of the sick. However, after graduation, I felt unsure of my plans. Well, for a couple of years, I worked in a hospital. However, I came to realize that I have important calling. And that explains why I am talking to all of you now. I want all of you to know that we in the academy sense your frustrations. You cannot avoid that because the effects of the pandemic held us back. Face-to-face class is not permitted, and training in the hospital is not allowed. Thus, the challenges you are facing right now is real. Nonetheless, this mentorship program aims you to be on track. I want you to know that nurses and pharmacists are not only for hospital and community. There are many fields, and some of those are not yet even explored. You as a pharmacist can be scientists. Nurses can be nurse researchers. Thus, my challenge to all of you is to put efforts on what you are doing. You see, no matter how small efforts, if sustained over time and you are doing it consistently, it will produce significant results. Continue learning. Do not stop doing your best because it is important that you do to make it happen. Stop wishing, stop thinking, but do it by action. So, my plea to everyone who is listening is to commit yourself to hearken to our speakers this afternoon. They are successful in their careers, and I can say that they have ventured into roads that are not usually taken. Again, good afternoon and enjoy learning from this webinar.
Thank you, Dean, for that heartwarming welcome remarks.
So now, it's time to meet our guest.
So, partner, may idea ka ba sa sino guest natin today?
I think partner parang banyaga daw siya.
Malalaman natin sa mga hints na to, ha? Wait lang. Paano to?
Yes, partner.
Wow, Canada and Middle East. Banyagang ata to, partner.
At oo nga, partner, mukhang mapapa-English yata tayo.
OFW, an evidence that shows how hardworking our speaker is today, di ba, partner?
Yes, partner. And for our first speaker for today, she graduated with her bachelor's degree in nursing from Riverside College and Master's of Arts in Nursing from the University of San Carlos, Cebu City. She was an OFW for 12 years, 5 years in Canada as a nurse, and a nursing supervisor and a healthcare recruitment consultant in the Middle East for 7 days. Currently, she is the Vice President, Healthcare for Camox Philippines. Let's all welcome our first speaker, Ms. Chinita Reyes.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're muted po ata.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, tama, nakamute. Thank you, dear. So it's a pleasure once again and isa na naman pong karangalan na ma-meet. This is actually for the second time na ma-meet ko yung nurse graduating class ng PHINMA University. And I'm always excited for you guys and I'm really happy to be a part of this virtual mentoring with PHINMA. Okay, so ang topic today is starting a healthcare business. Okay, I will take a little statement from Dean. Tama siya. The roads that we are taking right now, it's not actually the usual road na isang nurse, naging entrepreneur. So hindi lahat, konti lang. And for sure, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, I know na meron dito sa graduating class na to, na talagang meron kayong entrepreneurial side. Alam mo yon? Kasi syempre, even though I'm a nurse, I know that from a start, I like selling and I like also fashion. I have really so much passion for people when we go to community services. I enjoy those things. But before that, let's start muna. We have to define some words para may matutunan naman tayo today. Okay? So, first is, today we are talking about starting a healthcare business. So, let's start off with talking about entrepreneurship. Okay? So, first, what is the meaning? How do we define entrepreneurship? So it's a process by which individuals, isa lang, or a group of individuals, mga entrepreneurs, exploit a commercial opportunity. Okay? Just like sa pag-start ng healthcare business, isang nurse like me, nakita ko yung opportunity ng business sa healthcare, relating siya sa healthcare. Okay? So let's move. Okay, so now we also have to look into na yung when you start a business, you have the CEO and you have the entrepreneur. Okay, so this process is generally organized through a new organization. So pag new organization, you are going to have a startup company, pwede siya, but may also occur in an establishment, small business that undergoes a significant change in product or strategy. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang positions. We have the entrepreneur. Okay? Pwede rin naman na si entrepreneur maging CEO ng kanyang company. And at the same time, si CEO is also the entrepreneur. Okay? So, just like I think I am a good example to that because, of course, I'm the CEO and at the same time, I am also the entrepreneur here. Okay? Okay, so I think okay, so I think we missed out the slides before. Sorry for that. So, i-define natin yung CEO and your entrepreneur. Kasi sinabi ko kanina na I am a perfect example of both. So, if you have the entrepreneur side, ito yung tinatawag natin na these people dream big and have very, very big perspective. Alam mo yung mga plans nila, okay, close 100 deals of 100 nurses going to UK. So they are very, very aggressive sa pag-take ng mga decisions when it comes to i-exploit nila yung commercial opportunity, especially in healthcare. Pero pag sinabi mo namang CEO, si CEO naman, yun yung nagti-take care ng execution. So dalawang side ang meron ka dapat. It's one of being a CEO and yung side ng pagiging isang business-minded which comes as an entrepreneur. Okay, remember, guys, you can close a deal but the success of your business, saan siya nanggagaling? Sa execution. Okay, you can probably close a hospital deal. Okay, I will supply nurses to USA. It's so easy to say that, right? But the question is, paano mo yun i-execute? Which is where the CEO, ang pressure ng isang CEO nang gagaling. Okay? So, pag CEO, averse risk siya, which means si CEO, maingat kasi siya yung nag-i-execute ng business. Pero si entrepreneur naman, sila yung mga high risk takers. Okay? No matter what it is, let's do it. Ganun yung spirit. So, to start a healthcare business, kailangan na meron tayong both the CEO side and at the same time the entrepreneurial side. Okay? Kasi it's a strength of getting a business, and at the same time, ang strength na kung paano mo siya gawin to become a success. Okay? So, now, we talk about why we take risk. Like me, as an entrepreneur, why I like risk? Because not all nurses probably loves what I'm doing, and not everyone probably would go the same path that I took, right? But I like risk because pag may sarili akong business, di ba? Number one, nandyan sa screen, there's control. Okay? I want to be the boss of my own business. So, sino sa mga nakikinig dyan ang merong drive na ganon? Okay? Number two is ambition. So, of course, when you start something, okay, may ambition ka. For example, nag-a-ambition ako, let's talk about, I will become the successful healthcare recruitment consultant in the Philippines. Let's talk about that. And that's really my ambition. So, I'm willing to start something from scratch. Okay? Kasi nakita ko na yung ambition ko, meron palang business doon. Okay? So, financial, isa din yun. Pangatlo siya, of course. Lahat tayo nangangarap ng financial stability, and I'm sure kaya kayo din naging nurse, kaya natin gusto mag-abroad, kaya natin gusto magtrabaho because gusto natin magbigay ng magandang kinabukasan sa ating pamilya. Right? So, that's the reason why we take risk. Okay? Control, ambition, and money. Okay. So, next one is, medyo naglalag tayo konti. Yeah. Okay. So, now, becoming an entrepreneur. I think this is now the big topic because we are talking about starting a healthcare business. Miss Chinita, paano po kayo nag-start ng healthcare business? So number one is really interest. I have really the passion for nurses, and I knew that ever since when I was teaching in as a clinical instructor in University of St. La Salle in Bacolod City. I already have that passion. In fact, way back then, I already started my own review center. I was 26 years old. Okay. Remember, I was 26 years old. I stopped teaching in the university and I put up my own review center along with my two other best friends. Okay. So I already have that entrepreneurial side because I'm really interested. I have the passion for the nurses, for my students. I want them to pass the NLE. I like mentoring them. I like educating them. So, excuse me. Second to that, of course, is your background and experiences. Of course, I'm a nurse. As you know, as a nurse, we have that TLC, our tender loving care. So that's our background. At the same time, my experiences. So remember, from a clinical instructor, I saw the business opportunity that if I have my own review center, then my students will be enrolling for me. So that was the start of my career aside from being a healthcare consultant in Middle East. And of course, financial resources. I really, I have dreams for my children. I want them to study abroad. So also, yes, that was one of my motivation. Okay? So unmet market needs. What do you mean by this? So see, I created a review center way back then that I would say, may nakikita ako sa ibang review center na gusto ko i-fill in ang gap na yon. Ang review center na tinayo ko noon, meron siyang approach ng tutorial. So which means, hindi lang siya review center, but it's a very personalized approach na matutukan ang mga nurses. Okay? Problems you can solve, sinabi ko na rin yon. May mga bagay kasi, pag nag-business ka, hindi lang siya nangyayari overnight. There is planning. Okay, nakikita mo ano ang problem na gusto mong i-address. Bakit gusto mong mag-start ng sariling business na naiiba ka? ano yung niche mo, ano yung specialty mo, ano yung maibibigay mo sa mga kliyente mo. That's really very important. And of course, network and connections pag nag-start ng business. Bakit ako very confident to start my business? I have a wide market of nurses. Okay? Second to that, I have connections. I am connected before to the big names in the Philippines when it comes to the best reviewers. Okay? I have had teachers na naging reviewers na rin ngayon, and at the same time also nag-own ng review centers. So I have the pool. So may network ako, may connection ako. Okay? Kasi maraming ingredients pag nag-start ka ng business. Okay? So moving on, it's also needed, okay, na meron tayong, yeah, it's appearing in your screen. Medyo mabagal lang siya. When you start a business, you really have to recruit a talented worker. Very important talaga na when you start a business, always remember, hindi mo yan magagawa lahat. Okay? So when we start a business, you need to have a great team. Okay? Hindi pwede na, I will start a business. I can do it on my own. I don't need to hire other people because I am already very talented. I am already very skilled. No need. No. Actually, you have to build a great team because a great team will make you look good. Ang success ng business is nasa tao because your employees will be your asset. Okay? So, yeah, medyo nag-skip yung slide natin, but yes, it's very important is to get the right workers. Okay? We don't hire just because they are our friends, or we don't hire just because may utang na loob ang parents natin to this person, they need a job, then you have to bring them in. You always have to hire the right person, ang expertise ng tao compare sa kanyang position. Okay, so that comes again now your entrepreneurial side. Okay, because there's no emotion there, but you are being objective for the business. Okay, so kailangan natin, we are very committed, we are very persistent, and we are very adaptable. Ika nga sabi nila, ang isang quality ng isang leader and businesswoman is you have to know how to adapt. Very important yun because, you know, business has its ups and downs. Okay? So, now, end na yan ng slide. I will personally share to you my journey. Siguro very interested yung iba how I started or how I got here. Okay? So, to sum it up, of course, may mga ingredients that led me to where I am right now. And number one, I will sum it up, it's passion. Because I know you have been hearing this lagi na, you know, do your passion, that will make you happy. I think the more I already progressed in my life, that is very, very true. Because it starts with your passion, and then nagulat na lang ako na ang passion ko pala, there's business opportunity. So, but it really all started sa passion. I have to really agree on that. Okay? So, passion, yung interest mo, okay, for your nurses, because when I moved to Saudi Arabia, I was actually a nursing supervisor. Okay? Now, the second one, after the passion, is timing. Everything in life is timing. Hindi lahat ng nurses nagkaroon ng chance na you are recruiting for 20 hospitals in Middle East from Philippines. So when I started my job as a nursing supervisor, I became a representative of the owner to recruit nurses in the Philippines. The primary focus was actually to get the right candidates. And then I realized I can have my own business as well with this because it is now my specialty to find nurses and I have seen that this is a business that I'm really doing well. Okay, so na-timing lang siya, guys. Hindi siya yung parang pinlano ko siya na, maging nursing supervisor ako tapos para ako yung ipadala ng employer mag-interview sa Pilipinas. So, medyo mas matagal ako sa Pilipinas kaysa sa Middle East because I go home to Philippines and then I talk to nurses, I interview doctors, okay? And without my offer, hindi sila pwede matanggap sa company. Okay? Number 3, hard work. Of course, lahat ng bagay, lagi kong sinasabi, hard work works. Okay? Pang-apat is your skills. Okay? You have to be a people person if nakikita mo na, like me in this business, I think I'm talking from morning to evening. Okay? And I don't feel tired. In fact, I'm very happy with what I'm doing. And I think magkakasakit ako kung wala akong may nakausap for the day na aplikante. So, marketing skills and your public relations skills. Okay? Next is your entrepreneurial side. Dahil yung topic natin today is how to start a healthcare business na shinare ko sa inyo, nagkaroon ako ng review center for nurses. And then now, I'm handling the business. I'm bringing in business as a vice president for healthcare. Ang mga clients ko, naging clients ko na sa business. So from a healthcare consultant now to running my own business. Okay, so dapat may entrepreneurial side ka. Kasi siguro kung wala kang entrepreneurial side, I could have remained just a consultant. And I would be happy earning a set salary for a month. Basta may nakuha lang akong monthly salary, I'm good na. But in my side, because I have the entrepreneurial side, bakit ako maging consultant lang if I can own the business? So ang ginawa ko, nag-hunt pa ako ng mga ibang employers. Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and now we have US. Okay, meron na kaming, we will be deploying nurses to United States of America. Okay, so dahil I have that side, you always dream big and you always hunt more deals for our Filipino nurses. Okay? So lastly, very important, second time I have to mention is connections and network. When I was a nursing supervisor in Saudi Arabia, di ba para sa inyo dyan, parang Saudi Arabia, ano naman yan, pang stepping stone lang yan and maybe just for 2 years. But for people like me, there are a few of us who have seen the business side. Okay, napakaganda ng Saudi Arabia for business. Kasi ang mga nurses natin, ito yung pinakamabilis na route na the best din siya for stepping stone. Ang Middle East. So, I have built big connections in Middle East from hospitals to medical directors, hospital owners, lahat. Naikot ko siya and lumaki ang aking network and I became a healthcare recruitment consultant. Okay? So ang dami kong clients, iba't iba silang hospital, minsan group sila, isang group 15 hospitals, isang group 20 hospitals. Okay? Then every time when there's something new, naiisip ko talaga lagi, this could be a good business for me in the Philippines. Okay? So timing, skills, ang dedication natin, how we are, attitude is very important, yung honesty natin. And yes, napunta ako sa recruitment, but then I saw the business side of it and I grabbed it because I like business. Okay? So, my position as a nursing supervisor exposed me to business because, like I said, it's also important to have an entrepreneurial side. Okay? So currently, I am the one hunting deals. I am the one going around in my previous company and all the companies that I've met in Middle East, and I'm bringing that, accrediting all the job orders that they need in the Philippines. And from this end side of Philippines, I am also the one managing the business. Okay, so I think na-share ko na yung journey ko sa inyo as a how I started my healthcare business. Healthcare siya because we are deploying nurses all over the world. Okay, so thank you so much and sana naka-inspire sa mga nurses natin na merong entrepreneurial side ang aking story. And who knows, one day you will be also doing the same kind of business na ako. And if that happens, I'm wishing you all the luck and all the best to all the PHINMA graduating nursing students. Thank you!
Ayan. Passion, timing, hard work, skills. Thank you, Ma'am Chinita Reyes, for that very informative talk. Just a little correction po. Ma'am Reyes is the healthcare recruitment consultant for 7 years, not for 7 days. I'm so sorry. With that, I hope you all enjoy this amazing presentation.
If you have any questions, comment it down and Miss Chinita Reyes will answer some of your questions. So comment nyo lang po sa Facebook Live natin.
Yes, Araullians, comment down below. I think, partner, it's time.
Time for what, partner?
I think it's time for everyone to have a chill break as we welcome on an intermission prepared by one of our students of CAHAS department. May I call on Mr. Jerome Barrientos for an intermission number.
Outside changing till it's a bird under 6 inches of white. The radio is playing iron and white. Tears is a new dimension. Tears is a level where we're losing track of time. I'm holding nothing against it except you and I. We were all drunk, waiting on a miracle, trying to find ourselves in the winter snow. So alone in love, like the water disappears. Well, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tighter till the afterglow. We'll burn so bright till the darkness clears. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow. Oh, I will hold on to the afterglow.
Thank you, Mr. Jerome Barrientos, for that intermission that will surely leave us bewildered with an afterglow. Moving on, partner, meron kayo mga questions na meron yung mga watchers natin today?
Yes, partner. As of now, meron na akong nakikita. But before that, mamaya na natin siya sasagutan. Let's now move on to our second speaker. Wow, partner. YouTube?
ba to,
Isa kaya
partner?
siyang YouTuber?
Vloggers nga. Partner, di ba yun yung gusto mong mangyari sa buhay mo?
Yes, partner. Isa sa mga dreams ko. Ayan. For our second speaker, he is the co-founder aiming to represent the Filipino nurses in UK, vlogger as Manong George. He also do interviews for our fellow Filipinos, inspiring others through his amazing content. A Filipino UK registered nurse for over 10 years. Let's all welcome Sir George Bermudez.
Hello, good morning. Actually, good afternoon sa inyo. Good morning dito. No? It's about 6 in the morning here in the UK. Maraming salamat sa very um, ano naman, humbling introduction ni ano ni na Rukiel and our host. Ano, maraming salamat. Now, yes, so again, my name is George, George Bermudez po. I go by the name of Manong George in YouTube kasi nga po tayo ay isang vlogger. But just to give a little bit of a background, I've been a nurse here in the United Kingdom for over 10 years. And I've worked in the most popular sector dito and the biggest sector in the United Kingdom, which is the NHS, yan ang public sector natin. And I've also done private healthcare work. And currently, I also work in what you might say, a non-traditional area of nursing. But um, I'm here today to talk about something very similar to what Miss Chinita, which Miss Chinita has mentioned. Ano? Ang tanong is, can a nurse be an entrepreneur? Ayan, right. So, ako kasi, I grew up in the 90s, ano. Back then in the 90s, ewan ko kung meron din yung makaka-relate pa in the 90s, which is so weird, ano. Kasi I think 90s hindi pa malayo, but the 90s hindi pa malayo this time, ano. Pero the 90s was a very different time. Wala pang masyadong may cellphone noon, may cellphone noon, mayaman. Wala pang I mean, there's a lot of rigidity behind that era, no. And when I was growing up, there was this set of expectation. Nung nag-aaral ako, there was an expectation that you have to become what you set out to be, 'di ba? Yun yung parang ano nun. Pero I think I can show you some alternative, lalo na dun sa mga nursing graduates. I understand this our audience today hindi lang nurses, no. Meron tayong pharmacists and other allied health professionals. So ito rin ma-apply ninyo sa inyong buhay. All right. So, yeah. So what I do on top of the vlogging, kasi napakita na yan ng ating mga hosts, I am also one of the founders of the website www.filipinouknurse.com. So ang filipinouknurse.com, what we aim to do is we cater to the needs of Filipino nurses here in the United Kingdom. And for also aspiring UK nurses, may they come from the UK, may they come from the Philippines or other parts of the world, madalas galing sa Middle East. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Chinita kanina, no, the Middle East can be a start-off point kung gusto mo mag-abroad. And we've got on the whole platform of social media, meron kaming over 10,000 following, and it's growing every day, no. I don't want to get into much details, pero malaki yan. Hindi lang tayo sa YouTube, meron tayo on the website, meron din tayo on Facebook. And when you combine that, we have a good influence. And what we have done is that, what I'm very proud of is that when we started, wala kasing masyado pang kaalaman about Filipino nurses here in the UK, which is weird. Kasi the UK has more than 30,000 Filipino nurses in the NHS alone. And the UK right now need more or less around 30,000 more. So parami ng parami. And so we wanted to make sure na, hey, we have to be recognized. Hindi lang tayo nurses na we just come in and out. And that's when the FilipinoUKNurse.com was born together with Manong George. Kasi it works hand in hand. Now, when we think about nurses, ang naiisip natin is normally hospital settings. Yan, meron tayong makikita from ER, OR, right? And ang sabi ko nga, I grew up in the 90s. So ang pagkakaisip ko nun is kung nag-aaral ka ng nurse, nurse ka. Kung nag-aaral ka ng pharmacist ka. In fact, share ko lang sa inyo, second courser ako, no? I did 2 degrees. So I had a degree in microbiology when nung bago ako nag-nursing. And ang experience ko with microbiology when we had that OJT, hindi siya para sa akin. So nagulat ako, no? I had that realization na I need to move on. Ano ba yung pwede kong gawin? And so I ended up doing nursing. And then in doing nursing, a few years later, naisip ko, um, ano ba yung pwede ko pang gawin? Parang yung realization ni Miss Chinita, no? Sabi niya, na-realize niya she's good at her job. How can she make it better? And that's where we ended up doing yung, uh, I might call our business as, we're in the business of um, building a community, right? Kasi we know that the internet, the online world can be a medium for a community. Yan. Right. Lalong-lalo na para sa mga nurses, Pinoy nurses dito sa United Kingdom. Right. So, let's talk about nursing and entrepreneurship. Um, kung sabi nga ng ating lovely host, no? And I must commend them, no? Nung bata ako, hindi ko kaya magsalita sa mga tao. Ako, seryoso, nag-umpisa akong very, very shy. So I must commend them. They're doing a real good job, ano? But in our journey sa Manong George and FilipinoUKNurse.com, we've met so many Filipino nurses that are excelling on different fields. And I will introduce you to some of them here today. Let's start, dahil we're talking about YouTube. Isa sa mga malaki at I would say OG, 'di ba? Mga original na nurse vloggers was actually Aling Oday. Now, Aling Oday, to start with, it was just a hobby for her to cook, and she wanted to learn yung mga recipes ng tatay niya. In fact, hindi nga siya, ang sabi niya sa amin noon, hindi siya ganun maalam. Hindi niya alam talaga magluto when she started. But when she started, sabi niya, ano ba tong YouTube? Okay, let's try this. And from a hobby, it turned into a passion. All right? And then, as you can see dun sa photo niya, not so long ago, well, this photo might have been about 3 or 4 years ago na, she got the silver play button from YouTube. So she's doing well. And then let me introduce you to another more recent naman na nurse who went into another type of venture, which is writing. Ang name niya is a Miss Joanne Cruz. All right, she's a nurse specialist in the NHS. So the NHS again is the biggest healthcare sector dito sa United Kingdom. And contrary to common belief with writing, kasi pag writing, pag ang pinasok mo is pag panunulat, you have to find a publisher, right? But what she did was she took a risk, no? She self-published actually. And despite the downsides of not having a publisher behind you, maraming downsides yan, whether may hirapan ka sa marketing or hindi ka parang may introduce into the correct circles, still she self-published. So that book, Moments That Made Us, from cover to cover, is all Joanne Cruz. And what's amazing with that is she defied the norm. Ano? And why she did that is because, in her own words, sabi niya, bakit ko pa hihintayin na ma-deny ako ng 100 times when I know that what my stories are relevant. All right. So her collection of poetry was relevant at the time, and she published her book last year, and she's making she's selling good books, a good number of books, and she's got very good reviews in Amazon. Ano, pag tinitingnan mo, so nakaka-proud. And then going back to us, as I was an entrepreneur, when we started the Filipino UK nurses community in Manong George, we're a team actually. Ako lang yung mascot, okay? Ako lang kasi yung madaldal. But behind me, well, not behind me, but side by side with me are my very good friends, and actually kasama rin yung asawa ko. All right? So sabi nga ni Miss Trinita, no, you can never start a business without thinking of having a good team with you. And that is one of the components. Ano? So when we started this, we saw that opening in the needs of Filipino nurses. And we said, actually, more than just the business, what we can do is we can cater for our community. Kaya po yun nabuhay ang FilipinoUKNurse.com. But I wouldn't dare say that I am the biggest in the vlogging world, or our website is getting hits of 1 million. No, I would not dare make those claims. Pero what I can say is, uh, we have our own successes. You know, we are successful in our own right. We are very unique, and we have this entrepreneurship of us is fueled by the passion to succeed. And I will share to you ano ba yung uh, passion to succeed and yung three C's that make it. So, naalala ko nung estudyante kasi ako, laging may mnemonics, di ba? So, yan, isi-share ko sa inyo yung triple C of entrepreneurship para sa amin. This is our formula. You have to have the courage, and you have to have the commitment and creativity. And this fuels your passion to succeed for entrepreneurship. And if you think about it, this can actually influence you in life in many aspects. No? Mamaya, bigyan ko kayo ng idea dyan. What I mean by that. Let's start with the courage. You have to make that leap of faith. Kailangan may tapang. Ano? In business, sabi nga ni Ma'am Chinita, you can't, parang nakita ko, narinig ko to sa talk niya is, what I got from there is when you start a business, yun yung laging pinakamahirap. Di ba sabi nga nila, like for this example, yung ating graphic dyan, it's not hard to be, when you do when you jump to do some parachuting or skydiving, it's not actually hard once you're there. The hardest part is the start. Yung makatalon ka sa aeroplano o sa helicopter. And ang fear kasi natin lahat is to make mistakes, di ba? And minsan kasi we can see that the timing is right, pero this fear na hindi pa natin alam kung maan natin is na kung ano ba tong takot na to is yan yung nangingibabaw. So we couldn't go on, and we sometimes waste the opportunity. So courage is very important kasi para sa mga mahilig sa basketball dyan, di ba? Ang reference ko si Uncle Drew, si Kyrie Irving, yung pelikula niya about basketball, no? Sabi niya, the worst shot I make is the shot I did not take. Diba? So think about that. The worst shot I make is the shot that I don't take. Right? So, bigyan ko yung example in our journey. We wanted, as a group kami, to start a business, pero sabi namin, nakakatakot kasi it involves a lot of time. It involves a lot of researching kasi nga, nurse kami. Bigyan mo ako ng dugo, bigyan mo ako ng taong hinimatay, bigyan mo ako ng kahit anong basta tao na may pangangailangan sa healthcare, kaya namin i-manage. Pero what do we know about business? Let alone social media. So parang, shucks, yun yung una namin takot. And we were thinking, no, basta sobrang daming takot. But nangibabaw sa amin na, sabi nga namin sa sarili namin, kung di natin to gagawin, kailan pa at sino pa? All right, it might as well be us because we had something to offer. And true enough, once we started, and nung nakakuha na kami ng flow, this is something that comes very easy and natural to us. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Chinita, going back to the previous talk, ano? Sabi niya, she enjoys what she does. Similarly, kami rin. You might think somebody of our, of a nurse, laging busy. But yes, the funniest thing is when you find something that you love, there is always time. Ano ba ako? Netflix o Mobile Legends? Or do I do something that can help other people at the same time give us a bit of profit? So, priorities, di ba? But let's move on. The next set, the second C that we use as a formula is the commitment. Right. So commitment comes with consistency. Dapat committed ka to be consistent. What do I mean? Let's talk about social media. No, I would say a lot of people think that social media is easy, and that's somehow true in some sense. But I will tell you this: being committed to produce something in social media takes a lot of time. What you see sa video and with everything else is just the tip of the iceberg. Bigyan ko kayo ng analogy. Christmas party, Di ba? Sino dito? Laging naman nag-organize din ng Christmas party. Siguro ngayon taon, wala. And last year, wala. Pero in our younger years, prior to 2020, ang Pilipinas, di ba, lagi tayo merong Christmas parties. Imposibleng wala. Pero what do you know about Christmas parties? Or any party for that matter? Ang tagal ng plano, ang tagal na ng usapan, ang tagal ng preparation. But how long does a Christmas party really last? Right? It's just a few hours. But the preparation to that takes longer. Similarly, in business and in entrepreneurship, the products can be a snap of a finger. Sa amin sa social media, ang tagal na nung minutes, hindi kami umaabot ng hours. But the man hours to produce whatever we have to put out, it takes us hours. From sabi nga, from networking to contacting and production, napakarami niyan. Even this very event that we have, I bet we will finish in about what? In less than an hour, but the preparation behind this has been what? Days and weeks, if not weeks, di ba? So what you need to remember when you have commitment, di ba, is you have to know to put in the work day in, day out. Okay? And ang kailangan natin i-avoid is what we call the mañana habit. Mañana meaning tomorrow in Spanish, di ba? Mañana habit, bukas na lang, di ba? And yung pwede na yan mentality. Our commitment to our products, to our output should match, di ba? The requirement. At least ang bare minimum is that you've done well. Dapat. Hindi pwede yung pwede na yan. Tanggalin na natin yan. You have to commit to the quality and timeliness of your product. Tatandaan yan. And that would be very helpful in all aspects. Hindi lang, particularly in business, pero if you put that in yourself, even if you do your own thing as a nurse, as an allied health professional, as a pharmacist, then commit to the quality and timeliness of your work and your work product. Yeah. So, next. Also, isa pang kailangan namin, and I think this is very important sa amin in the business of social media, no, is that you have to be creative. Now, sabi nila, you have to have original products now, and it's great to be original. That's true. Pero chances are, originality is great, but the best products out there or the best outcomes out there are actually the most innovative products. Hindi sila necessarily new, but they're innovative. So that creativity fueled it. So bigyan ko kayo ng example. Let's talk about Steve Jobs, or let's talk about Bill Gates, successful people. Talk about Jeff Bezos. Each of them did not invent their products themselves. Like, for example, Bill Gates did not invent the very first software. Neither did Steve Jobs. Hindi rin siya yung nag-invent ng unang cellphone or ng something that would play yung parang Walkman. Kasi yung pinaka-breakthrough ng Apple was from computers, and then yung iPods, kung may ano pa ng iPods nun, no? And then, if you think about Jeff Bezos, Amazon, hindi rin siya yung first website that sold. But they are very innovative. All right? And you have to realize your creativity dapat needs to be positive and genuine. And then lalabas na lang yung ganda niyan. The beauty will come out. All right? And this is the difficult thing. Well, kasi ang nakikita ko dyan is creativity stems from necessity. Kasi hindi to pwede. So when you have that, kung meron kang nakitang hindi pwede, may nakita kang problema, then you actually identify a solution. You offer a solution. And that creates a good business. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng example. It's about being flexible and responding to clients, kasi some clients might require a different thing. Again, going back yung reference ko no 90s, very rigid tayo. Ngayon, we can be flexible, di ba? And what you need to do now is think out of the box. And yung think out of the box na yan, sad na yan. But what you can do, and this would be very true for nurses like me, is when you think out of the box, rather than saying think out of the box, ang sabihin na lang natin is, kung ako kaya yung customer, stakeholder, or pasyente, ano ba yung kailangan ko? That's what you always have to do. That's what you always have to ask. You know? And if you can do that, then creativity will fuel you. All right? And magkakaroon ka na ng passion to succeed. And this is what's really needed for, oops, sorry kasi normally gantong oras tayo nagigising. Apologies for that. Yun, yung sinasabi ko na nga, a passion to succeed, yan ang kailangan natin, the 3 C's. And you could use this in every aspect in your life. Kasi a lot of people would say, ito, on a personal note, no, a lot of people would say, ang pangarap ko kasi is to retire early and, to gusto ko maging successful at a young age. I think that's a very that's a poor poor understanding of success, because for you to succeed, success is not defined by a single goal. Kasi life moves on eh. So if life moves on and you get to be successful at 30s, what will happen down to your 40s and 50s? Diba? You look at people like Warren yung owner ng Coca-Cola, I think it's Warren Buffett. Yeah, Warren Buffett. How old is he? He's in his 90s, but he's still working, right? And why is he working? Because that is that passion to succeed. Because it doesn't stop at any given age. So, my dear students, hindi po tayo, success is not because you could take the breaks, put your feet up, and whatever you want to do, yung sabi nila, travel na lang, ganito. No, you will get tired of that and bored of that, I tell you. Di ba? Kasi pag nasobrahan ka ng oras, mababato ka naman. But what you'd want to rather do is to find success and be able to share that, and then to make profit out of it, and then be a positive impact around the people. So, for my ending statement, my dear students, you are at an exciting and yet very important time in your life. In this time of uncertainty, I hope that you may find the courage to start on your own forward path. And whether you become committed in a field that is already laid out for you, or may it be in a field that you sow yourself, I hope that your creative talents and genius take center stage so that you can make a positive impact to your stakeholders, may they be patients or customers. And may you always be driven by your passion, and may it lead you to prosperity and success. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, yung American philosopher, he said, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Maraming salamat po, and again, good morning from the UK, and magandang hapon po sa inyo.
So ayun, thank you Sir George for that wonderful talk po ninyo. So right now po, we're going to read some comments po muna kasi ang dami po magagandang insight from our viewers.
Yes, partner. Ayan. From Jevia Joy Castillo Villanueva, ayan, shout out sa'yo. Thank you, ma'am. I learned a lot of your techniques and your life lessons that I can surely use for my future business plans. What really marks my mind is that we shouldn't settle for less if we know that we can do a lot way better. Ayan.
Oo naman. So meron din dito a comment from Stephanie Idago. Thank you for sharing your insights and experience to us. After listening, I realized that having doubts will get me nowhere. Now I dream to become an entrepreneur in the future too and become the boss of my own business.
Next naman, partner. And next, from Eros Abanes Limban, shout out ulit sa'yo. Thank you, Ma'am Chinita Reyes, and also, sir, for sharing your experiences. I learned a lot when starting in the business. It should have a good team to grow and to have a successful business. Ayan.
So now Sir George and Miss Chinita will answer some questions that were sent to us during the presentation. So Handa po bang mag-answer po, Sir George and Miss Chinita?
Of course.
Yes
Excited
po.
for that.
So,
First question. For the both of you po, first muna po is Ma'am Chinita and also next is Sir George. Okay po. First question, what are the struggles and benefits of being a nurse and an entrepreneur at the same time?
Okay. So struggles first, being a nurse. Um, well, yes, as a nurse, we have to make sure that we have all the necessary requirements, which I would say yung exams natin. As a nurse, ang success natin, set aside yung business, is more on pagka-graduate natin, how equipped we are. So for nurses, number one struggles is always nursing exams pagkatapos ng inyong local board exams. So ang challenge is usually ipasa si NCLEX if pupunta ng US, ipasa si IELTS. So challenge din pag medyo mahirap yung nahihirapan sa English, so we really have to do our review. Preparation is the key. And of course, ipasa yung inyong mga OET exams if you want to go to UK. Ang pinaka-easy na preparation is for Middle East. Prometric Saudi lang, DHA or Abu Dhabi, UAE registration is easy also. Oman Prometric is also easy. So I think my challenge was both on the exams and at the same time the experience, because we have to meet the employer's requirement if we want to go abroad and become a nurse, right? For the business side, ang challenge, I'll talk about my space because this is a little different from George. Being a POEA accredited business, napakahirap po. Kasi remember, we are sending humans, no? Tao ang pinapadala natin abroad. The challenge to be able to be accredited by POEA, which is a government regulating body of the Philippines, is number one challenge ng isang negosyo. Okay? So, magdi-deal tayo sa gobyerno. Ang dami nilang mga requirements for us. Number two is ang challenge namin sa recruitment business, ang yung mga employers natin na hindi sumusunod sa kontrata. Pag sinabing 8 hours na ang trabaho ni nurse, dapat 8 hours lang. Pag sinabi na ang overtime is paid 150%, they have to be compliant. So it's a big challenge and a big problema talaga siya pag hindi sila sumunod. So that's what we are facing every day kasi we are monitoring our nurses in Middle East, lalo na ngayon with the pandemic. Okay, lagi kami nakamonitor. Nagbibigay kami ng report kay POEA. Sino ang nurse na nagka-COVID? Sino ang nurse na pinapabayaan ng employer? And another one is competition. You know how many POEA accredited agencies? There's 600 of us. And by the way, I'm so happy to say that CAMOX Philippines is number 18 out of 600. So isa kami sa mga na-acknowledge ng POEA. Nakakatuwa kasi yung hard work na validate. Okay, and lastly, for healthcare business, funding is also a struggle kasi kailangan talaga may pangkapital. Okay, kung gustong alamin ang kapital, it's around 5 million paid up capital to start, and you will have a panel interview pa sa ating POEA board. Hindi siya ganun kadali to get a license. It may take even 2 to 3 years just to get the accreditation. So yun yung challenge from my end.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Chinita. No? Grabe. Mahirap din talaga yung pinagdadaanan pag sa business. But just to answer yung question, as a nurse, when you start the business, para sa akin, ang struggle would have been finding the time. Because, very regimented tayong mga nurse, right? May 12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts. Tapos nandyan pa yung challenge na kung may family ka, pag uwi mo, ikaw pa ba magluluto? Lalo na para sa mga nurse or pharmacist or whoever na gusto mag-abroad, let me tell you this, okay? And this is, I think Miss Chinita would agree to this. mas masarap po ang buhay sa Pilipinas kaysa sa abroad. Very true. I tell you now, and then nahihiya lang ako kasi baka mapanood to ng misis ko, kakatayin ako. But if I show you now, our home medyo magulo ngayon kasi kagabi hindi ako nakapaglinis. Alright? So what does that mean? Kasi sa Pilipinas naalala ko, pag kumain ako, iniwan ko yung plato ko dun sa ano, kung hindi ko man yan mahugasan, may maghuhugas dyan. Dyan yung kapatid ko, mami ko. Kung iba sa atin, may kasambahay, di ba? Dito wala pong ganun. If you leave your house dirty and you think you have this delusion, you go out, pagbalik mo, or let's say nagtrabaho ka, pagbalik mo, yung kalat mo pa rin yun. So, yun yung mahirap eh. Yun yung challenge. But again, as I was saying kanina, you find time for the things you love. Right? So, you love Netflix? Nakakapag-Netflix ka kahit madumi yung bahay mo. You love Mobile Legends? Nakakapag-Mobile Legends ka kahit madumi yung bahay mo. Kahit galing kang duty, pagod ka na, padalawang game lang. Sige na. Kailangan lang akong tumaas yung level ko. So that is the key. You find time for what you love. Kaya nga, katulad din na sinabi ni Mas Chinita, no? You have to find that passion. You have to fuel it. Kasi kung hindi, if you find many reasons not to do it, then you own it. But if you find the reason why you want to do something, then you will own it. Ganun lang po yun. You become what you decide to be. Right? So yun ang sa akin.
Hindi ko talaga makita yung link, dear. Naghihingi ang nanay ko. Ano ba yan? Forward mo sa akin.
So, ayun po. Thank you po sa pagsagot po na ating unang question. So, meron pa po tayong next question. Ito po. What if I have the passion but then I lack the rest of the traits? Is the strong passion enough po?
Pwede ba akong sabagot niya?
Yes, Sir
Yes,
George.
Right. So, kasi ang end game is success, di ba? Ito kasi hindi ko na nilagay dun sa presentation ko. But when people ask me, how do you define success? No, I would say success is where hard work and opportunity meets. Okay? Success is, again, where hard work and opportunity meets. Ngayon, in those two traits or two characteristics, no, ang meron ka lang control, right, is your hard work. Right? Hindi mo makakontrol ang opportunity eh. So, hard work, kaya nga, you have to put in the work. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina din. At sinabi rin niya ni Ma'am Chinita, no? Hindi pwedeng snap of a finger, viral ka na. Hindi totoo yun. Alam ko, that is what social media shows. Right? Nasa parang sobrang dali ng buhay. Hi, I'm in London. Ganito kami dito. It's not true. It's not true. I tell you that. That is not true. You have to put in the work. And then when that opportunity comes, then nasa sa'yo yan if you take that step, di ba? Kaya nga, passion will fuel that. All right? Pero it's what I would say is you have to also have the vision. Kaya nga, di ba, sa lahat ng Ruthiel, tatanungin ko kayo kung alam niyo to di ba merong mission vision ang Araullo University? See? The mission is the hard work. The vision is the opportunity, right? And that is your formula for success done. All right. So, hindi ko na lang kayo tatanungin kung alam niyo yung mission vision. Nandito si Dean, baka mapagalitan tayo. Pero yun yung I hope that answers that question. Thank you.
Hello! So, as for me, pag passion lang, hindi pwede. Kasi 'di ba sinabi ko na kanina, ingredients. Marami kasing ingredients ang success. So, yes, nakikita mo na yung passion mo, ay eto yung mahilig ako magganito. 'Di ba? So, like ako, let's take it, I really like talking to people and her hearing the worries of the nurses, hindi makapasa ng exams, ano yung problema. Ma'am, ano bang gusto ko? Gusto ko kasi ng UK, gusto ko rin kasi ng US, lahat po gusto ko eh. So I like educating them and guiding them. But the next question is, Am I persistent? Am I doing something sa passion ko? And yes, as per George, he mentioned that timing is so important. Yung sa akin kapag parang nagkatugma, I like this, and then recruitment, and then ay pinagkakatiwalaan ako ng nurses, na validate ko yung self ko. Ay, meron palang business to, let's do it kasi gusto ko. So it's a combination, synergy siya ng lahat. Hard work, passion, how you are, your ambition. So yeah, it's a ingredient siya ng maraming bagay. So that answers na. It should not only be passion. For sure, magagawa mo yan. Kasi may passion ka na.
Ayan. Thank you po, Ma'am and Sir. And for our last question po, as a nurse and as an entrepreneur at the same time, will you share with us the effective ways on how to overcome fears and taking risks? Sir George.
Okay, hi. So, overcoming fears and taking risks. Yan actually yung I think isang culture sa atin, no, sa Pilipinas, na we always have to make that very assured first step. Yung gusto natin, yung unang pasok natin, panalo kagad, pasok kagad. Well and truly, that can happen, right? But I would say for you to have a successful first step, again, remember the iceberg theory. What you see, uy, teka lang pala, my battery is running low. Bear with me a second. This is not good. Baka tayo mawala. Yan. All right. So, sorry about that. But yes, as I was saying, yung iceberg theory, what you see on the tip is a very small portion of that iceberg. Sa ilalim niyan, ganito yung kalaki. And that is, again, yung sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Parang Christmas party. Ang tagal mo nag-prepare, tapos oras lang pala yung kailangan mo. And that is similarly how you deal with failures. And to make that assured first step, no? Para yung chances na magkamali ka on your first step is mitigated. But you would be very wrong. You would be very wrong to say na hindi ako magkakamali, because does not happen in real life. All right? You talk about people who have been very successful in their lives. You can look it up on Google. Ang dami nilang pinagdaanan. There's like yung lapit tayo ng konti sa Pilipinas, sa China, si Jack Ma, na isa sa mga pinakamayayamang tao ngayon and billionaire extraordinaire. He was jobless, I think, at 35. All right. Lapit tayo, mas malapit. Yung malapit sa sikmura ng mga Pilipino, KFC. Si Colonel Sanders did not start KFC until he was like 80s. And ang daming ganyang stories na kasi it didn't work out for them at the start. Pero again, like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect time, but you make the time. Kaya huwag kang matakot. Failure will only be a failure if you did not learn from it. All right? So failure is what makes you a better person. So wag tayong matakot. Mangyayari po yan. Nothing will be perfect. But if once you find your own flow, then you will know what to do. All right? Yun na po. Thank you.
Hello. So yeah, how to overcome fear, no? Number one is, I'm sure we are all nurses, so we undergo this, you know yourself. So ako, before na-notice ko sa self ko, I'm a very aggressive decision maker. So anong ginagawa ko ngayon? I try to tame down. When I make decisions, I think 100 times. Okay? So you know yourself, you know your tendency. Okay, so baka may tendency ka rin na, ay, ang dami kong na-miss out na opportunity kasi hindi ako nag-try. May contest kami sa Chem Lab, hindi ko tinry. I have this experiment, hindi ko sinali. So bakit mo hindi nagawa? Kasi 'di ba natatakot ka? So you know your tendency, nanonotice mo self mo. So next time around, when you are confronted with fear, you know that is you, then you cannot afford to miss an opportunity. Ika nga, just do it. Okay. Tapos, bawat isa kasi tayo may sariling attitude. Ako pinanganak talaga akong no fear. Yung talagang laging sabi ng nanay ko. So ano naman yung struggle ko? Na i-hold back ang nasobrahan ka excited, nasobrahan ka aggressive. Okay? So, kasi in the course of my journey, sa lahat ng ginawa ko, na-learn ko talaga hindi lahat nag-succeed eh. I had moments na sabi ko, no, hindi na talaga ako mag-recruitment kasi it's not for me. Kasi may isa akong investor na ayaw na niya. Lumiit ang tingin ko sa self ko. Okay? And then opportunity came and I'm like, let's try one more time. Kahit mapalya, alam ko, tinry ko. So just do it. Like now, I have a new baby business for man. And then sabi ko, if I will focus on the negative things, parang hindi ko kaya gawin ang business na to. Pero naisip ko, I want to do it because I really want to do it and I know I can do it. I can solve the problem. So the solution for fear is exposure to fear kasi alam mo na baka yung fear na yan mag-convert into a success. So try it. Just count your liability. Kasi as a businesswoman, ang lagi mong isipin liability pag pumasok ka sa business. Pasukin ko tong business na to, alam kong liability ko dito eh. So yes, you take the risk, but be very aware of your liability. Hindi lang na, bam. Ay naku, paano yan? Pag 10 nurse ko pinabalik through pandemic, may babayad ba ako? Magkano ba yun? Kumpara ko sa kita ko. So face the risk, but be aware of your liability. So it means do it. Okay? So that's how you conquer fear, I think. And thank you so much. I think this is the last question. It's karangalan po na ma-meet kayo kahit dito lang sa webinar and hope to meet you all in person.
Okay lang din ba mag-thank you rin lang ako? Said, I'm
Yes,
very
sir.
honored no na PHINMA and Camox actually came to me and asked, if I'd be doing this. Actually, I also have to thank Miss Elsie kasi siya yung gumising sa akin at 4 in the morning. So it was quite difficult for me. But yes, really, just harking from sa sinabi ni Ma'am Chinita, no, just do it. Kasi that statement from Nike, did you know Phil Knight, the owner of Nike, and I would suggest read his book, wala namang makukuha doon. Yung Shoe Dog, you would see that he actually had a failure. Hindi na siya pinagbenta ng Onitsuka Tiger. And then that forced him to create with Nike. All right? So that is an opportunity. Sabi ko nga, failure can make you a better person. But gusto ko rin lang, ito yung sinasabi ko rin na isa. I would be hoping na makapag-plug din. So if you have any questions about UK nursing, please do contact us at filipinouknurse.com. Manong George din, we're on social media, Facebook in particular. And you could get in touch rin. You watch us on YouTube kasi we interview so many different Filipino nurses dito sa United Kingdom. Almost halos lahat under the sun, you will find it. From research nurse, pharmacy nurse, same ng trabaho ko, I work in insurance. So yeah, please do contact us. Thank you.
Sige, magsaglit ako to plug kasi I know nurses right now are so, may mga iba na nag-iisip paano na lang pag nag-graduate kami. If I'm doing free consultation sa lahat ng Filipino nurses, priority ang PHINMA universities. You can message me on Facebook, Chini Vargas Reyes, or you can like our page, Camox Medical. Kasi ang Camox Medical specific for Middle East and US. Okay, so just like and then check nyo yung mga posts namin, makakatulong din sa future ninyo na mga plans. Thank you!
Yes po, thank you po, Sir George and Miss Chinita. So before we head on to awarding of certificates po, let me just share you po some good comments from our viewers. So from Miss Melody B. Miguel, thank you, Sir George. Thank you for sharing your experience. I learned a lot. One of the things that impressed me that you shared is the 3 C's for passion to succeed and use in different aspects of life, which is with less fear and more courage. When you choose your own way, you commit yourself. Creativity inspire employees to work with each other.
And another one is from Christine de la Cruz Agbayani. Thank you, Sir George. I learned a lot that I can use a lot in my future. After listening, I realized that being successful is not only about having a diploma, but learning more about our degree we choose.
And then last po, from Sheila May Valencia. Thank you, Sir George, for the meaningful experiences about the huge exploration about a healthcare business. I will mark to myself in what needs to be avoided, like manana habits and mamayana mentality, if I want to be a successful business in the right time. So, ayun.
Ayan. Moving on, partner.
Moving on, we will now go with the awarding of certificates.
Allow me to read the content of the certificate. Araullo University PHINMA Education Network. Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Sir George Bermudez for sharing valuable, relevant information as a resource speaker through the event entitled Starting Healthcare Business, hosted by PHINMA Araullo University, College of Allied Health and Sciences in partnership with CAMOX, given this 19th of March 2021 via Zoom and through Facebook Live on PHINMA Araullo University Facebook page, signed by our Dean of College of Allied Health and Sciences, Dean Rosenda N. Jaramillo.
Okay, so for the next certificate, Araullo PHINMA Education Network, Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Ms. Chinita Reyes for sharing valuable and relevant information as a resource to speaker through the event entitled Starting Healthcare Business, hosted by PHINMA Araullo University College of Allied Health and Sciences in partnership with CAMOX, given this 19th of March year 2021 via Zoom and through Facebook Live on PHINMA Araullo University official page, signed by the Dean of College of Allied Health and Sciences, Ms. Rosenda N. Jaramillo. So again, thank you, Sir George and Ms. Chinita, and thank you everyone for attending today's webinar.
Again, this is College of Allied Health and Sciences. We also have our program, PHINMA Ed MedTech is now available here at PHINMA Araullo University. Partner?
Yes po, available din po sa College of Allied Health and Sciences ang BS Nursing and BS Pharmacy. So again, we thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. I am Rosel Mea Pascual po.
And I am your host, Anjudel Ortiz. We hope that we contributed to your knowledge regarding our webinar's topic, Starting Healthcare Business.
Let's all be productive Araullians. Stay safe and God bless.
Sasamahan kita, sasamahan kita,
Mimithi, inaasam, pangarap na walang hanggan. Bawat ngiti, nagniningning, magsisilbing liwanag sa dilim. Natatanaw mo ba? Maaabot mo ba? Tanong sa bawat bukas, masasagot mo na. Mahaba man ang daan, madami man niyang hadlang, huwag kang mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso, nangangarap. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. Pangarap. Pangarap.
ang paraan, kalimutan na nakaraan. Ayusin natin ang daan, anuman ang humadlang. Gamitin ang iyong lakas para maiangat ang iyong antas. Mula sa baba, ngayon nasa taas. Kinang ng puso, iyong ilabas. Kami aalalay, iyong kaagapay. Sa bawat hakbang, meron ka ng karamay. Hanggang sa tagumpay, ika'y magtatagumpay. Ang imposible ay kaya, basta't sama-sama. Kaya huwag mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso, lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Buksan ang kinabukasan,